Let's be real for a second. Solo queue in Honor of Kings can be an absolute nightmare. We've all been there. You ping for a dragon, you set up a perfect ambush, and your random teammates are off chasing a butterfly in the enemy jungle. They literally do not listen. Because of that, some players will disagree with this list. They'll tell you to play the most mechanically complex heroes or picks that are permanently stuck on the draft ban list anyway. But this guide is different. Today we are breaking down the top 15 heroes to rank up fast as a solo player. We are picking exactly 3 heroes for every role. My criteria? They are straightforward to execute. They don't rely heavily on coordinated teammates, and crucially, many of them are flexible multi-role beasts that let you adapt when your team messes up the draft. Let's start with the solo island, the Clash lane. In Clash lane first, let's talk about Byron. The reason for choosing him is quite simple. If you want to dominate your lane early without needing a single gank from your jungler, Byron is your guy. He is an early game bully who rewards aggressive solo trades. His positive sides are Byron has insane early to mid game damage, incredible shield generation, insane self-healing, and short cooldowns. He can easily win a 1v2 if the enemy jungler tries to gank him. As other heroes, Byron has his negative sides. He falls off in late game team fights. If he gets kited by high mobility marksmen, it's hard for him to close the gap. How to properly use him: build your energy bar on minions before fighting. Dash in with skill 2, use enhatched basic attack for CC, hit your skill 1 on multiple targets for massive health recovery, and drop your ultimate for a massive shield to win any trade. Our second choice would be Dunn. Why I chose him? Dunn received a massive recent buff, making him an absolute monster in the current meta. He is the ultimate flexible safety net for solo players. If someone steals your lane, don't worry. Dunn is incredibly good in both the Clash lane and the jungle right now. Dunn is incredibly tanky, so he can soak up very high damage, and for that reason you can easily get 14 or 16 rating easily, which can get you 2 or 3 star from a single match. Dunn has true damage on enhanced basic attacks, reliable passive healing when low, and phenomenal crowd control with a low cooldown hook, but he lacks explosive burst damage. He wins through long, drawn-out fights rather than instant one-shots. So how to use him? Pop skill 2 to gain a shield and infuse true damage into your attacks, then use his ultimate hook to lock down squishies or to safely escape over walls when your teammates leave you hanging. Now let's talk about an underrated hero, Arthur. Many players sleep on Arthur. He is the king of simplicity. While other players are missing complex skill shots, Arthur just runs people down. He is durable, requires 0 setup, and disrupts high mobility enemies easily. He has many positive sides: excellent natural health regeneration, high native movement speed, and a point-and-click silence from his first skills enhance a attack that completely shuts down flashy complex heroes, but lacks a traditional long-range dash or hard escape tool if he gets deeply out of position. So how to properly use Arthur? Activate skill 1 for the speed boost and silence. Hit the target to mark them, activate skill 2 to shred them with your spinning shields, and drop your ultimate to execute low health targets. Now let's talk about the map dictators, junglers. First one we will talk about is Kaiser. So why did I choose Kaiser? Because he requires very little mechanical practice compared to other junglers, but carries twice as hard. He is also amazing in both the jungle and Clash lane. For Kaiser, he gets massive stat boosts while transformed, incredible isolated single target damage due to his passive and natural health sustain. He can easily surprise enemies with his insane burst damage and kill them without the target when knowing what happened, especially if you see a Kaiser player in his ultimate form. Make sure to run as soon as possible or you'll be destroyed. There's another reason to choose Kaiser, and that's his reworked second skills dash. This rework made him more dangerous as he now can both escape and chase enemies. But he also has negative points, highly dependent on his ultimate. Outside of his transformation, he is easily kited and loses a lot of his threat level. To use him effectively, clear your jungle efficiently. When stepping out to gank, pop your ultimate right before entering the fight to absorb damage. Use skill 2 to knock up the target and easily clear out the backline. My second choice would be Luna. Yes, she has a high skill ceiling, but I still picked her in this list, because if you want a true 1v9 hard carry hero when your team is totally useless, Luna is unmatched if you put in the practice time. She has unlimited dash potential via her mark resets, massive shield capabilities, and extreme outplay potential under enemy towers. You'll just need some time in practice and you'll be good to go. And if you definitely want to pick Luna, make sure to ban Liang, Donghuang, as they are absolute counters for Luna. Especially Liang, that guy is annoying. Well, it's not just for Luna. Most of the mobility heroes like Luna, Li Bai, Jing can be countered by Liang, Donghuang. Anyways, as for Luna's negative sides, she's highly reliant on securing your blue buff. A single missed mark puts her ultimate on full cooldown, leaving her completely vulnerable. So to use her, consistently mark targets using skill 1, skill 2, and every third basic attack. Always weave your ultimate through marked targets, ensuring you leave at least one mark active to disengage. Lastly, another underrated hero, Ying. Ying is highly versatile. She bridges the gap between a tanky initiator and an agile assassin, meaning she fits into literally any team composition randoms throw at you. Especially after her recent buff, she's an incredibly powerful jungle hero who many players still sleep on. She has excellent combo variety based on charge stacks, long-range poke, and built-in damage reduction during her skill animations. Her ultimate ability is also a nightmare for mobility junglers and enemy heroes. Her combos require clear muscle memory. Mismanaging your passive stacks can lock you into a bad attack animation. But still, she doesn't have a fixed combos. As she's very flexible, you can literally use any combination and still get a kill. To use her properly, manage your passive stacks. 1 stack for defensive shield trading, 2 stacks for mid-range poking and healing, and 3 stacks for a high-impact execute over walls. Now let's talk about our high-impact carriers, farm lane. In this lane, first let's talk about Chicha. Chicha is an absolute powerhouse for solo players because of how adaptable she is. While she can dominate the farm lane, Chicha is actually a fighter hero who can easily be played in the clash lane, or even the jungle depending on what your team needs. She can multiple modes in her abilities, long-range attacks, attacks like a fighter, multiple target attacks, and an ultimate skill which lets you kill enemies easily, and also lets you escape as it boosts movement speed greatly. Even if we use Chicha with marksman build in farm lane, she's also tanky compared to other marksman heroes. To use hero properly, practice a bit how her different weapons work, and before engage make sure you have your ultimate skill available which will almost guarantee kill and escape. Now let's talk about one of the best marksmen, Ao Yin. Although he has a very high ban rate, still had to pick him for this list. Ao Yin is arguably the most complete and safe marksman in the game. His toolkit allows him to survive situations where other marksmen would feed. Multi-element versatility, healing, true damage, and crowd control, high burst damage, and an ultimate that makes him completely untargetable. His negative sides are high ban rate in upper tiers, and requires rapid shifting between elements depending on the threat. He's easy to use fire for raw damage, wind for CC or speed, and water for health sustain. If an enemy assassin dives you, immediately trigger your Dragon Transformation ultimate to fly to absolute safety while raining down damage. Lastly, for marksman section, we have Marco Polo. He can be your ultimate pick as a solo player. If your roaming support completely abandons you to play on the other side of the map, Marco Polo is the only marksman who can comfortably survive alone. He has true damage passive conversion, elite mobility with 2 dashes, and can comfortably build defensive items like Purifying Cloak without losing his core damage. Only negative points are, lacks instant burst damage outside of his ultimate. His skill 1 poke can be easily blocked by tanks or minions. If you want to use Marco Polo properly, use skill 1 to poke and max out your true damage passive bar on a target. Once the bar is full, dash in with skill 2, activate your Purify or Stun active spell, and spin in with your ultimate. Now let's talk about the map controller, mid laners. For first one, let's go with Daji. Solo Q is full of over-aggressive enemy assassins trying to make highlight plays. Daji is the ultimate counter to that behavior because her stun literally cannot miss. Daji has a point-and-click single-target crowd control, massive instant burst magic damage, and 0 mechanical difficulty. But she has a weak wave clear early on. Her ultimate damage splits up if multiple enemies or minions are huddled together. But trust me, she's a nightmare for enemy squishes. To properly use her, you need to learn art of traumatizing enemies with jump scare. Don't sit in the open. Hide inside river bushes, wait for a squishy target to walk past, and drop the classic combo. Skill 2, Stun, followed instantly by your ultimate and Skill 1. That will make most of enemy targets to die instantly. In late game, even tanks can't properly sustain Daji's full combo. My next choice would be the ultimate queen of mages. For me, Nuwa. Nuwa is a late game insurance policy. If your team falls behind, her ability to create physical walls can solo defend high ground towers and stretch the game out until you can farm up. She also deals very high amount of damage, especially after mid-game. Cause of her first skill? Enemy can't even get close to her as she can easily push back enemies and block them using her cubes. She has a global ultimate range, exceptional zone control via blockades, and a teleport skill that lets you cross the map to save failing lanes. You can literally control the whole map with Nuwa, and with proper practice, she becomes a godly mage who can't be touched. But she also has some negative sides, causes she has a wee early game presence. Requires smart predictive aiming to land her damage grids effectively. To put simply, you need proper practice. The simple way to use Nuwa is block pathways using Skill 2 during objective fights around Lord Tyrant pits. Detonate those blocks with Skill 1, and map snipe low health runners globally with your ultimate. As I said before, you'll still need proper practice to 100% utilize her skills. Now finally, our last mage would be Haya, a very good mage to play in ranked. Traditional mages are completely helpless when an enemy assassin jumps them, especially when your random teammates refuse to peel for you. Haya solves this completely. Her ultimate gives her a massive, uncounterable 50% to 70% damage reduction, meaning she can survive the initial dive alone and turn the fight completely in her favor. She has incredible self-peel and survivability, access to true damage on marked targets and built-in shields, movement speed, and stuns. She has a unique ammunition mechanic. Once she uses her 3 crystals, her skills go on a full cooldown, meaning you have to manage your passive cycles carefully. To use her properly, start by landing her beam or orbs to mark the target. Once marked, use Skill 1 to trigger that massive true damage chunk, or Skill 2 to lock them down with a stun. If an assassin dives you, immediately press your ultimate link to absorb their damage, wait for the Mirage state to kick in for the 50% cooldown reduction, and then spam your skills to finish them off or blink to safety.
Victory!
Now lastly, let's talk about 3 support or tank heroes. For our first pick, we have Zhang Fei. Random teammates don't read text chat, but they do understand a massive demon roaring across the screen. He provides the ultimate visual go signal for your team. Zhang Fei has massive shield values for protecting bad teammates, extreme durability, and one of the best initiation ultimates in the game. And do you know the best thing? Recently, when new Attack on Titan collab happened, Zhang Fei got a huge buff. Now even if Zhang Fei is a roamer, he deals impressive amount of damage. If builds some attack items, he fights like a clash laner. Now as for his negative point, he is highly reliant on building his rage bar to unlock his ultimate. Without it, his pressure drops heavily. Zhang Fei is very easy to use. Jump on your marksman with Skill 2 to provide free shields. When your rage bar is full, flash forward into the enemy team and trigger your ultimate to stun them against walls, clearing a path for your carries. After tank Zhang Fei, we have a good support, Diadia. Instead of just supporting, Diadia actively breaks the enemy team's economy while boosting her own pocketbook, which is a massive advantage in solo queue. She has a unique gold-stealing mechanics, exceptional single-target bonding buffs, debuffs, and surprising finish potential.
She's much squishier than traditional tank supports. Requires careful positioning to avoid getting picked off early.
You need to practice a bit to properly understand her abilities and to use her. Connect your links to enemy targets during early skirmishes to drain their gold. Use your ultimate to turn those links into massive bursts of healing for allies or execution damage for low health runners. Last hero for roaming lane, and this list will be Kai Yan. Most of the random player in Honor of Kings simply refuse to buy anti-heal items early enough. Kai Yan exploits this beautifully by turning her teammates into immortal raid bosses. Kai Yan has an unparalleled sustained team healing, high defensive stat buffs, and a highly disruptive bouncing stun skill. But she has pretty good negative sides, completely countered if the enemy team collectively builds anti-heal items. Offers 0 frontline body blocking value. To use her properly, Launch skill 2 into packed enemy groups or minion waves to maximize the bouncing stuns. Stay glued to your highest performing damage carrier and cycle your skill 1 and ultimate to keep them alive. Before we wrap up, here are 5 honorable mentions that narrowly missed the top spots, but are absolute pocket picks depending on what your team needs. Here we have Ata, Wang Zhaojun, Flowborn Marksman, Sakir, and Wukong, which are also some heroes you can go with, and are also pretty easy to use. Look, solo queue is never going to be easy, but picking heroes that are simple, reliable, and highly versatile gives you the best tool set to fight back against bad matchmaking. Which of these heroes are you going to lock in next? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more high-tier guides, and I'll see you out on the battlefield.